have a listen. Oh, Jesus. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to Living Life Fast, and today we are in a 66 plate BMW M2 running around 450 horsepower. So we're gonna go for a little POV drive. Some of you know this has already gone live on the LLF Games website. You can actually win this for £8.99. You seem to enjoy the previous one, so I thought let's shoot another one. It's not gonna be a review, we're just gonna go for a quick little blast and we'll test out some of the 0 to 60s and just see what it's like to drive. So, BMW M2. Whoa, that is my first time putting my foot down. Now this car does have... Oh, Lord, this is quick, boy. So yeah, BMW M2. Now, this is a special one because it actually has a 6-speed manual gearbox, and this is the first generation of M2 as well. Obviously now you've got the M2 competition, which has the S55 engine. This car, when it was originally introduced, I think it was 2015-16, there was a few complaints. A lot of complaints with the mirrors. Strangely enough, you know, it's just like an ordinary 2 Series mirror, but more complaints were on the engine because it had the N55 from the M235i or the M240. Obviously it's a little bit different, it is modified, so it's a single turbo 3-litre inline 6, but it does have pistons from the S55, so that's the M3 and the M4 engine. It's also got the crank bearings from the S55, it's got a modified oil sump. What else? It's got the brakes from an M3, it's got the suspension from an M3, it's also got the differential from an M3. There's probably other things that are missing. I mean, even in this cabin it looks like I'm sitting in an M3. The steering wheel, the wheels, and this 6-speed manual gearbox is ripped straight out of an M3 as well. And it does also have the rev match function, so if I... Okay, yeah, you see that? Guys, can you hear the turbo flutter? Wow. So reason I bought this one is because of the modification. So if you see the single turbo M4 that I filmed the other day, that car was tuned by somebody called Kerry Jordan in America. This has a complete custom one-off tune. Wow, bringing power to 450. So these cars are around 365 in stock form, 343 foot-pounds of torque. There is an overboost function, so temporarily brings torque up to around 370, but this is very quick. Wow, nice, very subtle looks, nothing over the top, bit of a sleeper I'd say this is. It's got a front mount intercooler upgrade, it's got, as I say, a stage 2 plus tune. It's had you know, I'd have to whip out my phone to actually have a look at what's been done. Let's do that actually. Let's pull it up here. Let's put it right here. So let's get onto LLF Games, hit the website, and as you can see, we'll flick down to prize details. So 450 bhp, Kerry Jordan tune. So as I say, he is a tuner from America, one of the best BMW tuners in the world. So it's a 2016 BMW M2, 36,000 miles on the clock, full main dealer service history. Let's get over to the modifications. So it's got a stage 2 plus tune, it's got a VRSF uprated intercooler, VRSF boost and charge pipes, MST air filter, Dorsch high pressure fuel pump, decat with resonator delete, and it's also got the diamond cut alloys. That's obviously in factory. So yeah, back to the M2. We've got a fixed suspension, still feels very nice over here. We've got the standard springs, there's no eye-back or anything on there, but steering is beautiful. Like as I was saying previously about the M140, it's a bit more user-friendly. As soon as you jump in the M2, it just feels so much more serious, not intimidating, but it's just like, right, let's go. Like, it's not effing about, you know. Straight away I've already locked up the wheels a few times, it wants to go sideways. Let's get it in Sport Plus. As I say, oh, I can feel the throttle straight away, just revs lovely hit of torque, that is. Nice and spread out, unlike the M140. Not trying to take the piss out of the M140 now, it's gone. But I did say that it was very low down the RPM. Oh man, fuck's sakes. Come on, you're all going right, you're all going right, no? Nah, they're not all going right. Feel it just upsetting the rear now. We've got Continental tyres on. Let's take a right down here. Let's get traction off as well, see what happens. That's traction off. This is, yeah, definitely 450 horsepower. It feels very quick, man. And these cars are not known to be the most tunable. Like, I did drive Mavs' M2. I've driven quite a few of these on the channel, but the most powerful one I drove had a big boost turbo, was it? Mavs NVM. Sorry, Mavs, if you're watching. Oh shit, traction off, yo. Yeah, the rev match is nice. Brakes are good. I think I did mention the brakes are lifted straight out of the M3. Sick. See, it's just inspiring so much confidence. I mean, it just feels like it's in control of itself. It's got all of the parts from an M3, so you could drive this car at 10 temps knowing it's fully got your back. Of course, you've got to be a little bit cautious. I'm driving with traction off right now. Wow, can you hear that? Oh, it's so nice driving a manual right now. Yeah, it's like, it's weird because we've got an N55 engine, haven't we? Like, yeah, it's got a bit of a roar, but it was similar to the 1M when that came out. It had the N54, so people were always complaining about that car. It's not a true M car because of the engine, but nah, this is a full-on M car. Do not be confused. The handling and the smiles with the modifications completely transformed this car. I've driven these in stock form, in manual form as well, and I will still happily say that a manual car you can drive a lot harder. Technically you might be faster, but sick. You know, this being a coupe versus the M140, the cabin feels a little bit more spacious. Like, you don't slip into it like the M140. In the M140 it feels like it, I don't know, you just slide into it and it wraps around you. This car, you're a bit more laid back, and this wheel feels a little bit big. I'm not sure if we could do it being a little bit smaller, but look, we're in 4th gear, plenty of torque. Oh man, trust me, like, I know a lot of you probably prefer DCT, but you cannot go wrong with a manual box. Wow, revs to 7,000 RPM, makes its max power at 6,500 RPM. 60 in the manuals were 4.4, DCT was 4.2, electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. So yeah, cabin wise, it's just like an M3. You got these nice suede door cards with a blue stitching. You've got carbon fiber down the handles, steering wheel. You've got like the M color stitching. You've got heated seats. They're electrically adjustable. You definitely notice the difference with the M140. Still nice and smooth. Like, it is initially pretty aggressive, but it's not upsetting the car. You can definitely still corner whilst using the throttle. And that's the reason why I think you can drive the manual quicker, because you've got the longer gears, and also like the DCTs, like on upshift, they're so fast with shifting that it upsets the balance of the car. So steering's lovely. Yeah, it's an electric steering, but whoa. You can tell the difference between like a generic map and like a custom tune. This is so nice to drive, honestly. If I was to keep this car, I would definitely go smaller wheel though. Wow. Fucking hell, this thing's rapid, boy. Spinning through second. Man, this thing moves. Trust me. It rev matches for you, man, but you gotta do it yourself, ain't you? Right, let's go and find something to get some zip to 60 is what we need to do now. What's that, gunshot? No slipping of the clutch. It's fine. And the gearbox itself, it's got a nice short throw. You just know it's not going to break. It feels really robust. I've done a good 25,000 miles in one of these manual cars, so I know what they're like. I think because it is a smaller car, it just inspires you to drive it a little harder, but as I say, it's like 1550 kilos. It's exactly the same as the M3s and M4s, really. Right, so we've got the race box set up. Let's just make sure it's all working, get it in custom mode. There is no GPS signal. Right, come on. Come on. You got this. I think it just needs a second to load up. Yeah, there you go. So, if you're new to the channel, we recently just did some tests in a 440 horsepower BMW M140. That did a 0 to 60 in 4.04 seconds. It did a quarter mile in 12.48 seconds, and it did the fastest 100 to 200 in 8.51 seconds. So as of now, the M140 is officially the quickest. We did some tests on the E92 M3 and also my Evo 6 RS. So we are manual, so it's all going to be down to Ricky. Wasn't too great. 0 to 60 in 4.95 seconds. That was with traction completely on, so we'll obviously have to do another test. Right, MDM mode. We are getting slower. That was a 0 to 60 in 5.24 seconds. So there was a little bit more slip. We did bog down as well. I'm going to go traction off. I reckon I'll go faster traction off. It's been a while, guys. It has been a while. 4.85. Getting there. Oh yes, 4.56. That's more like it. Exactly the same time, 4.56. How did I know there was a 4.5 in this car? Happy with that. Right, so guys, I'm going to end the video there. As you see, the M2 did the fastest 0 to 60 in 4.56 seconds. We did that twice in a row with traction control off. I would definitely say the problem is the tyres on this car, because the weather is similar to the other days when I drove the M3. It was actually a bit wetter when I was driving the E92 M3. The M140 definitely didn't have traction issues like this. So yeah, I would say set a Michelin Pilot Sport for us on this car. We'd definitely see a 0 to 60 in like the low 4 seconds, I reckon. Maybe a 4.2, 4.3, especially running the power it is. I'll quickly tell you the last 100 to 200 time we did a 10.34 seconds and we did a standard quarter mile in 12.72 seconds. I think there may have been a slightly quicker time, but that was the average time that I was getting in this. So obviously if it was in a DCT M2, it'd be a lot quicker. But just before I end it, remember you can win this M2 for just £8.99. Ticket link will be in the description below. Competition ends in 2 weeks time. And also let me know your thoughts on this POV angle. This time I've got it mounted to the windscreen. Would you prefer me to have it mounted to my forehead so that, like, you know, you can see me moving around, or would you prefer the more central position here? So yeah, I'm out, people. See you lot in a bit.